Hey, what's up, guys? I thought I'd make a quick video to talk about a very important topic, and that's when you start to doubt yourself, or you maybe even think you're kind of going crazy because something isn't working out in your life, or you're putting in effort and you're not seeing results. By default, a lot of us will think that we are the problem. And to an extent, that's true because no matter where you go, no matter who you speak to, the common denominator is you, or at least that version of you. But sometimes you discover evidence that's pretty irrefutable, which suggests or even proves that actually you are not the problem. There's other forces acting in that situation or in the general circumstance that have influenced your results without any fault of your own. And I know some people might use this as a coping mechanism or as some kind of excuse for their own inaction or negative thinking patterns, what have you. But at other times, it's like, okay, I'll just give you the example and the reason why I'm making this video. I was just doing some research on ChatGPT last night, and as some of you might know, I am from Western Canada, very close to Vancouver. And Vancouver is known just as a pretty cold city, as a kind of a closed off place. Generally speaking, a lot of people tend to have trouble breaking into new groups and making friends and so forth. Not everyone. Some people can do it pretty easily, especially if they're rather extroverted. But for the longest time, I thought, am I just socially off? Is there something that I'm not doing right when it comes to trying to meet people, trying to meet women, all that sort of stuff? And, well, same thing that I was mentioning earlier. I was trying to figure it out, but I was feeling gaslit, and eventually I figured, well, I guess it must just be me. But I discovered that there's actually plenty of studies that have been conducted on how sociable and friendly and open people in Vancouver are compared to people in other regions, other countries, other parts of the world. And it found that there's literally evidence to suggest that people from the city of Vancouver and the region around it are some of the most antisocial and closed off people in all of North America. Now, I mean, we can't hold a candle to Mexico because down there, they're pretty outgoing. I've lived there. I know how it is. It's Latin culture. But it does kind of make sense when you think about it. Typically, the further north you go, the more cold people are going to be. They're not going to be out and about dancing and socializing and greeting each other and all that. Not that it doesn't happen. Again, it can happen, but it's certainly not to that extent. And they have a name for this. It's called the Vancouver Freeze. And you can just look it up. And so when you come across evidence like this that proves you're not crazy, you're not deficient, it literally is because of your environment or other factors that you were kind of unaware of, that is liberating. And that can make you feel like, oh, okay, well, maybe I wasn't really going crazy after all. And you feel that even more so when you do go to a different country and you do go abroad and you discover and experience what it's like to meet people from different places, be in that new environment, and overall just be able to develop yourself and also interact and share your personality, your perspectives, everything about you that was cultivated in that other place, and then see how people respond to it in this new environment. Because as I've talked about on this channel a few times, one of the main reasons why I've traveled is to see how women treat me in these different places. And lo and behold, you can argue all you want, but the fact of the matter is, if you're struggling, especially in a place like Vancouver, and you go to Mexico or Colombia or Southeast Asia or even parts of Europe without changing a single thing, about yourself, not your facial features, your haircut, your body type, fitness level, your income, none of that. And still just being pretty much the same, you, I guarantee you, I'd be willing to bet you will experience a much better level of receptivity. And I know some guys are going to complain and say, well, yeah, as soon as they recognize that you're a foreigner, you've got a passport from XYZ country, then of course they're going to be friendlier to you. It, Guys, this is not 1990 anymore. The world has really caught up. A lot of these other places, you think of Mexico, think of Colombia and what have you, and you think they're complete backwaters. And they can be in certain areas, but you also have plenty of people who are coming up. You have plenty of rich people in these countries, like Poland. You know, my father used to think that Polish people and Poland in general is just, again, a backwater. You go there now in 2025, it's probably one of the most rapidly advancing and developing societies and economies in the entire world. And, I'm willing to debate that because I've been there and a lot of you haven't, but I've seen it. I was in Warsaw. I experienced just how far ahead things are there. But if you speak to an older person, they'll typically think, oh yeah, Poland is this post-Soviet, post-Iron Curtain, this, Eastern Central European backwater. There's nothing going on there. Because their impression of the place is still locked away and tied down to what they thought it was years and years ago, from what they saw in the media and read in books and what have you. You go there now and it's completely different. So don't let these ideas, these notions that are very dated, hold you back from going out and experiencing something different and living a fuller, richer life. And I kind of repeat the same message in all these different videos in different ways, but it's very near and dear to me because I have experienced it. And as you can see now, I am back at the home base here in Canada for a little bit. I'm going to be back in Mexico very, very soon because I know it's just, it's kind of comfy out here. It's nice. It's a fairly picturesque day as well, but I'd rather trade this for being in Mexico or being in a place that truly nourishes my soul any day.